I have lived long enough to know that the tables always turn. I have lived long enough to know that the seasons always change. I've lived long enough to see my enemies become the footstool. I've lived long enough to know that there is a season of struggle, but then it turns into a season of great reward. I have lived long enough to see enemies become footstools. I have lived long enough to see that those that do wrong, that seem to be progressing in their ways, I've seen those tables turn on them. I've seen what looked like the underdog become the one that rises on top. I have lived long enough to know that these momentary afflictions, they're only but for a moment. I've seen them not to be able to be compared to what's coming, the glory that shall be revealed. I've lived long enough to see the one that sows the seeds in silent when nobody is celebrating them. I've seen them rise to the top. I have lived long enough to see the people that were oppressed. I've seen the tides turn in their favor. And that same oppression that was coming against them was the same thing that was giving them the tools and the resources that were necessary to rise all the way to the top. I have lived long enough to know that things turn around if you keep going. Don't you stop. You know that the things that you've done in secret are getting ready to turn in your favor. You know that everything that you have prayed for, God has the power and the ability to release it. The key is, don't let the devil trick you into stopping. Don't let the enemy trick you into stopping because there's so much ahead of you. I've lived long enough to see it, and you're going to see it too. Remember who you are.